Have you ever looked at your sweet, old grandmother and wondered if she has a secret? Well, in the quiet little village of Sundarpur, there lived an old lady named Amalila, and her secret was bigger than anyone could imagine. By day, she was the picture of a perfect grandmother over 70, with silver hair in a neat bun, a smile that never faded, and a talent for making the best sweets in the village. Kids would flock to her for help with homework, and everyone knew her as a kind, gentle soul. But when night fell and the village drifted to sleep, Amalila transformed. What most people saw as just a simple, old shawl she wore was actually enchanted. When she wrapped it around her shoulders, it wasn't just for warmth. This magical shawl gave her the strength of 10 men and the speed of the wind. She became the silent protector of Sundarpur, a true superhero in the quiet of the night. While everyone slept, Amalila would patrol the fields, her shawl billowing behind her like a chapi. She gently guided wild animals away from the precious crops, ensuring the village's livelihood was safe. If a traveler lost their way on the dark, winding paths, a mysterious, kind figure would suddenly appear, guiding them safely back to the road. The villagers would sometimes whisper about a night guardian, but no one ever connected these tales to the sweet old lady who offered them tea in the morning. Her secret identity remained safe, tucked away like a precious memory. The children would tell stories they'd heard from their parents, tales of a shadowy figure who kept them safe, but it all sounded like a fairy tale. Amalila would just listen with a knowing twinkle in her eye, never revealing that she was the hero of their bedtime stories. She asked for no more thanks, no more recognition. Her reward was seeing the village peaceful and thriving. She drew her strength not just from the enchanted shawl, but from the deep love she had for her home and its people. For her, protecting Sundarpur wasn't a duty, it was an expression of her boundless affection. But one year, the monsoon season brought a storm fiercer than any the village had ever seen. Rain lashed down for days, and the river that bordered Sundarpur began to swell, its waters churning angrily. Panic spread as the river overflowed its banks, creeping closer and closer to their homes. The villagers were trapped, with rising water cutting off escape routes. It was in this moment of chaos and fear that Amalila knew she couldn't stay in the shadows any longer. Without a second thought, she grabbed her shawl and ran out into the raging storm. The wind howled and the rain blinded her, but the shawl wrapped her in its fire. With incredible strength, she tied heavy ropes across the flooded paths, creating lifelines for people to hold on to. She moved with impossible speed, wading through waist-deep water to carry children on her back and guide the elders to higher ground. All through the night, as the storm raged, Super Amma worked tirelessly. She was a beacon of hope in the darkness, her quiet courage inspiring everyone to help one another. She didn't stop until every single person was safe. When the first rays of dawn broke through the clouds, the storm had finally passed. The villagers, exhausted but safe, found Amalila resting under a large banyan tree. She was soaked to the bone, her shawl clinging to her, but that familiar, warm smile was still on her face. In that moment, they all understood. The stories, the whispers, the legend of the night guardian, it was all true. It was their Amalila. From that day forward, she was no more longer just Amalila. She became Super Amma, the celebrated protector of Sundarpur. The children followed her around, not just for sweets, but to hear tales of her bravery. She taught them that true strength doesn't come from muscles, but from a heart full of love and a willingness to help others without expecting anything in return. Years passed, and eventually, Super Amma left the world peacefully, but her spirit never left the village. The people of Sundarpur still tell her story to their children and the grandchildren, the legend of the grandmother who was a superhero. They say her shawl was magic, but they all know that real magic wasn't in the cloth. It was in the extraordinary love of an ordinary woman who believed in the power of kindness. Thank you so much for watching and sharing the story with me. If you were touched by the tale of Super Amma, please hit that like button and subscribe for more heartwarming stories. We'll see you in the next video.